Hey, Curt Hennig fans. Hello and welcome to another episode of Curt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind. I'm your host, Steph. This is episode 31. Today on our Perfect Podcast, I'm going to watch along to Curt's match with Bret in 1989. Unfortunately, this was taken off of YouTube, so I will watch along to it since I downloaded it off of YouTube some time ago, in case they would have taken it down for copyright reasons. I like this match because it fueled Curt's push until Hogan axed it. The match goes to a draw, prompting Bret to ask for 5 more minutes. But before we start, please join me on my YouTube and Rumble channels where if you like what you hear, you can subscribe, comment, like, and share so we can grow these channels. The links for both will be in the description field below this video. I would like to give a shout out and a thank you to my paid patron supporter, Charlie Brown Politics. Thank you, Charlie Brown, for your support. If you too would like to support my channel for as low as $1 a month, please click the link in the description field below this video to become a paid patron supporter. You will also get your name read on the show. For $3 a month, you will get your name read on the show and you will get to ask me a question which I will read and answer. For $5 a month, you get all this plus an exclusive behind the scenes of how I do my show and also a blooper reel because trust me, I screw up a lot. For $10, you get all this and access to a live patron show where if you like what you hear, you can learn more about me. So please click the link in the description field below this video to sign up today. Please help me to reach 100 followers on Rumble. All links will be in the description field below this video. You can now follow me on Locals for free. If you would like to support the show, you can join for just $2 a month. Thank you for your support. Okay guys, and we're back. So, I don't know how long this video will be. I just wanted to kind of get back into the recording scene because I was sick for the past 2 weeks thanks to my son. My son came home with the flu and kind of gave it to me, and then the flu turned into a sinus infection. So here we are. And trust me, voice hopefully will not stay around forever. But yeah, so you can kind of hear them. Still kind of hoarse. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty of things. By the time this video comes out, a lot of other videos will come out. Episode 27, we did the watch along to the Curt and Bret match at SummerSlam 1991. So that is coming up here soon, guys. Well, I mean, it'll come out, and then this one will come out. Now, guys, let me just tell you something. This match that we're gonna watch along to, actually was on YouTube, but again, I'm not sure why. It's just they like to take a lot of matches down. But I'm guessing for copyright reasons they took it down. Fine, whatever. So I was able to pretty much download it and get it onto my computer and before they took it down. So unfortunately, I can't tell you to go anywhere or do anything. You'll just have to listen along and hopefully I'll try not to talk over anybody, but I think there is a little music, so I might have to turn it down just for, because I don't want to get a copyright strike myself. But this is a great match. This was done, YouTube said it was done in April or May. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it was April-ish in 89, so 1989. And it's a really, really great match. I really like it. It's about 20 some minutes long because at this time, Curt still had his perfect streak going, or his perfect record going. So Vince didn't want him to lose any matches, but he kind of said, well, how about if I just go to a time limit draw with Bret? So this is kind of back when they were doing the time limit draws. And at the end, Bret kind of says, let's do 5 more minutes. And he's like, 5 more minutes ain't gonna help you, pal. Now, I just saw another house show they did in the Boston Gardens, Boston Arena, and it was kind of like the same thing, only it was in Boston, of course. But they did go to a time limit draw, and, his perfect record remained perfect. So, we have to, remember that these house shows weren't really broadcasted, and if they were, it's because someone, put commentary to it later and may have put it on like what Wrestling Challenge, or they could have even put it on, prime time. Though I've looked through the prime times, I don't see this match anywhere near in there, so they could have put it on Wrestling Challenge, but unfortunately, Wrestling Challenge there's only 2 seasons if you go on Peacock and look, so there's only like 86 and 87. It could be more than that, but yeah, like, I'm still waiting for them to do, 88, 89, and 90 for Wrestling Challenge. And I did see a little bit of that stuff before they took it off of YouTube, I'm guessing for copyright reasons. And it all seemed to go off completely. So, not much I can say here other than this was supposed to be, if you read Bret's book, he says, this was on the way up, that Curt was supposed to have his push. But then, of course, Hogan X'd it. So, unfortunately, it's some of the great matches of 89 that Curt and Bret were both involved in. And, Bret talks about those matches. He talks about one of the matches in Pittsburgh. They were kind of off and not really feeling it. But then when they went to somewhere else, they went to a different state or whatever, and it was a different night, different match, they were in sync. So, sometimes you can have your off days, where you're out of sync and you just don't feel right and nothing feels right. Trust me, I know. It happens, Bret doesn't, blame Curt or anything. They just kind of say, well, we'll put the blame on, it was an off day. Yeah. They just didn't want to blame each other, cause they respected each other. And, Bret talks about Curt with, such affection. And, Curt, gives the respect back. And, I think that, if Curt was here today, he would say, my matches with Bret were like the greatest. But he mentions, his matches with Gary were spectacular, cause they were both second generation. And, his one match that he had with the Macho Man in WCW was good. And there's another second generation guy for you. So I think a lot of the, when the second generation guys would have matches, I think they were spectacular because they knew exactly what they were doing. So, and then of course, Curt and Bret would go on to have their match at, King of the Ring. I need to watch that. Apparently, I was on X and there was something called, a slam. I don't want to say the word because of YouTube reasons, but, it's a slam where you slam him out of the ring. Like you pull the person out of the ring and they take a bump to the floor. I don't remember seeing that on King of the Ring, but I'm definitely going to go check that out and see what happened there. I don't remember Bret doing that to Curt. Not that Curt couldn't take a bump, but it looks like Curt smacks his back on the ring apron, the apron. So, I don't know. I'm just gonna go back and look and see what exactly happened there. So, but even that match was so good. And then, they did a a little interview with Curt after the fact, and, Curt felt like he should have won, and he should have. Bret had it. You had the belt. Curt didn't. So I think there's and I'm not taking anything away from Bret. Him and Curt could have had a really great feud for the WWF belt. And I know Vince liked Yokozuna, but you could have put Yokozuna in that mix too, and they could just, pass it around, but at least give Curt that chance. You gave Bret a chance, now give Curt a chance. Because for some reason you forgot about Curt. And yeah, he was hurt, but the thing you guys have to realize is Curt still wrestled even though he was in pain. Even though he was injured, he still wrestled. Because that's what you do. I'm not saying that Curt should have, we're listening along to, Curt's birthday bash because his birthday was March 28th. I'm not saying that he didn't deserve, to stay out, and he, makes a joke about, I would have ended up in a wheelchair. He wouldn't have ended up in a wheelchair. He knew his body better than anybody. So, I think that's why he sort of stayed out of wrestling for a couple years. But in the interview, he was itching to get back. I found out recently he did an indie circuit. An indie circuit, for crying out loud. He wanted it back. He wanted back in wrestling so bad, but he couldn't go to WCW. WCW had just been bought out. So, I'm guessing, they had been bought out, and this was in 2001. So, I'm not sure exactly. It didn't say when in 2001. It just said 2001. But even if he was hurt, he still wrestled. And that's something to admire. That's why, he is my hero. He deserves all the credit that he gets because he is, a great wrestler. In my eyes, he was the greatest wrestler. And not everybody shares that opinion. I get that. But let's remember the legacy and the man, behind the scenes. Curt knew himself better than anybody. A lot of people today would not have, even thought about wrestling with a bad back or, whatever injuries they get today. There's a lot of wrestlers that are hurt because they do stupid stunts today. And as I said on Pro Wrestling Talk, it's just, I can't imagine wrestling today and going through these injuries that these people go through because, they're injuries that are not something you can work through. You can't just, I have a bad back, but I'm going to take painkillers and go into the ring. You know what I mean? So I think that, today's people need to wake up and realize that doing these stupid stunts or whatever you're doing, Circus Soleil stuff, you need to stop doing that. Do something that's modern wrestling. I think that's why they try to get a lot of these second and third generation superstars. They try to either get them hurt or they kick them out of the business. It's almost because they don't want that in the business. And why? That was what wrestling is. It's what wrestling was. So, alright, I'm going to go and get everything ready. So I will catch you guys on the flip side. Okay, guys, I am back. I would usually tell you to go to YouTube, but unfortunately you're just going to have to listen. I do have it on my computer, so I have everything ready here. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to hit play, and we're going to listen along. If there is any music, unfortunately, I will have to turn it down. But this is Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect. I believe this is April or May. I believe it's April. So April of 1989, and I'm going to hit play now. Okay, there's no music. I thought there was, but I'm still gonna turn it down for just a second because, so here comes Bret. I think there might be a little music, so I was able to get it before it kind of turned on. But, here comes Bret. And what's really cool is there's like I don't know if it's mats or if it's like a real stage that's like as high as the ring. So like the guys don't have to like step up on the apron and get into the ring. They can just, walk into the ring. It looks like a stage maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure. Bret gives his glasses to a lady, an older lady. That's funny. But it looks like a stage. So if you do happen to ever see this, there's like a stage that goes right up to, and it's like level with the mat, so they could just kind of walk in to the ring. Oh, Curt just spit his gum. All right, let's see. Okay. Gorilla, don't hate. Let's go, Curt. I wonder what Curt's laughing at. Kind of like keeps smiling and like chuckling. I wonder if that's what Bret talked about in his one interview. Oh. Very evenly matched. Because they're both second generation. Curt never faced Barry Horowitz that I know of. Because they were both heels. Is going to try some other track, I think, to get back into this match. I mean, not that he's out of it. We've only seen one or two holds so far. Absolutely not. Hitman with a nice shoulder block off the ropes. Look out. Single leg trip tried for it, didn't get it. Hitman ran right out of it. That was a nice move there by the Hitman. It looked as if he was running through those ties. You know, the footballers do those things. Plus, the move was not executed perfectly by Mr. Perfect. No, if it had been, the results obviously would have been different. Nice move by both men, in fact. Perfect, perfect, perfect. The opening minutes of this match by Bret Hart. I don't know whether you're aware, Your Lordship, but the brain, the weasel, has been sniffing around Mr. Perfect, trying to get him into the family, but Mr. Perfect a little bit too smart for that. Well, no, he picks Laney first. Oh, gosh, ouch. He's pulling his hair. He's pulling my hair. You can read Bret's lips. He's pulling my hair. Oh, no thanks.
so powerful, complaining about perhaps some grease in the hair of the hitman. Yes, I can see that too. He definitely has a valid point there.
He does say that a lot. Like, there's a lot of grease in his hair. What do? Dump a bunch of oil in your hair?
You're absolutely right.
I think he just says that in WCW.
Help worker very thoroughly. Extremely important. It's little things like that that make great wrestlers. You know, or in any other branch of the sport, great athletes. Yes. So far, the hitman has outsmarted.
No thanks. I know you guys can't see this, but Curt has one knee pad blue and the other one's black. Of course, his singlet is black, like black, a salmon color, and blue, mostly blue. Oh, he landed right on that ramp. Okay, it's a ramp. No, you would show Larry on camera or something. Oh, he just said, son of a bitch. And trust me, they would show, the camera would pan around and Curt would maybe even talk to his dad. Well, if Gorilla's talking like that, then it must mean this is after WrestleMania, so could be late April, early May. Bret's like acting like he's like, okay, come on, I'm waiting. Oh, got him right in the head. That knee lift of Curt's.
like that, he is definitely a prince of perfection, Mr. Perfect. And he is so resolute, he'll stay on top all the time he is able to like this. Just give him that slight edge and he will not let up.
Going to work methodically right now. He wants him out of there. He's out of there.
Yeah, he wants to give him a taste of the humiliation you can feel when you've been kicked out of the ring.
Almost looked like Bret had his hands cupped over his face. It's almost like he was laughing about something.
Rough it up, and that's exactly what he's doing.
But Bret was a good seller too, so.
Yes, that's your frontal part of your forehead going into the side of the ring there, and that doesn't do any good for you whatsoever.
And no one to tag.
No, but I don't
Handle standing in the corner
know.
waiting.
But give Bret Hart his due. I haven't seen him once look round for a tag, so he is not relying on past strategies when he was making tags in such a situation. He obviously is in control mentally, although physically he is a little exhausted now.
He is. He's measuring it right now.
And now it's time for that man to reassess the situation.
Well, the difference is, now that the hitman's out there on the floor,
Kurt's yelling at the referee.
Yes, he is indeed. And, look at Mr. Perfect. He knows exactly how to play this. He's staying away from his man.
right into the steel barricade.
Right here, now you know why.
Like Mr. Perfect, I think he
I
said.
thought that would have been it. That was a very, very good move there by Mr. Perfect. Instead of catapulting his man back into the ring, he took him and me also completely by surprise and pushed him out.
Trying to make him part of the barricade.
Yes. And Hart now really suffering. Really hurt by the things that have happened to him these last 3 or 4 minutes.
All the spring has gone out of his legs.
It has indeed. Those powerful legs are now sagging a little bit. I always watch a wrestler's legs. When they begin to fold and buckle like that, you know the rest of him is not functioning too well either.
Absolutely. But you can bet all that fight has not gone out of his heart.
No,
He's going out again.
another hard fall to that floor. But now I think that's the wrong tactic right now.
He had the guy hurt there. Now is the time to keep him in the ring and put some finishing touches on.
I think so, definitely. And this man is capable of doing that. He can take you out in a second's notice.
I've seen the hitman over the years absorb so much punishment and then come back with a resiliency that is just remarkable.
I love those little things. He would have arguments with the referee. And then like, yeah, fine, okay, I'm listening to what you're saying. And then as soon as the referee would turn around, Curt would act like he's going to hit the referee.
Look out, reversal on the Irish whip. Oh, face first. Right into that top turnbuckle. Could be all over here.
That was a really slow count, man. Come on.
He didn't bother to take the leg. He knows that he hasn't really got this man down enough physically yet to stay in a good commanding pin situation. So he's going to punish him some more. He knows Bret Hitman Hart is not finished yet.
Out onto the ramp. Why on earth, your lordship, in a match of this magnitude would you even attempt to go for a token cover?
I don't know, but it's one of his tactics. He has used that before. It's part of what he does. He has his own particular ways of achieving success. And let us face it, he's been tremendously successful so far.
Mr. P definitely in control here. And the hitman in deep, deep trouble.
And how rapidly that pendulum can swing. And fortune turn against you, as it has done in this case against Bret Hart. He is in deep trouble, you're right. I have to echo those words, Gorilla.
Just noticing something, your lordship. Right now, we can't see it now, but right to the left of the ramp is a small stairway leading down to the arena floor, and it's not level with anything. It's sticking up above everything. And what a dangerous piece
see that now. What a hazard that is. You're absolutely right.
In the meantime, Mr. Perfect continuing the very methodical destruction of the hitman.
Yes, that is a good explanation of that. A methodical destruction. That's exactly what he's doing.
Oh, come on, Bret.
That is awful.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, sometimes he confounds me, Mr. Perfect. I think right now he should be
Spinning toe.
going for
Ever the great seller on that spinning toe hold is Bret Hart.
to make Bret Hart suffer and really pile on his mastery of everybody in the division.
Kicked down nicely and right through. He might have jammed that left shoulder right into the steel post. He's holding the arm, but I think it was the shoulder that hit. Maybe not. Well, maybe that's where he's feeling the most pain.
And that's the risk you take when you prolong a match like that. When you have chances of a victory, you should go for it. And he didn't do that. Surprising, isn't it, Gorilla?
Certainly is. Main objective, win it. Hitman rams him in again. Boy, how quick the tide can turn.
Yes, and that is a dangerous tactic when you're in the ring with somebody like Bret Hart.
Slammed him in a hammerlock. Really doing damage to that left shoulder and wrist. Elbow. The whole arm is a...
Of course, ever the great seller is Mr. Perfect.
Good move this for the hitman. He knows how to recover the strength in a position because there he was down in a kneeling position, letting everything, the energy flow back into the knees, the legs, the body all together. A nice on top controlling position.
Outside armbar. The most painful type. Hitman in control. Look at the nice leverage on that takeover.
Yes, and he's showing what conditioning can do for you now.
Boy, I'd have been on a gas a long time ago. I got news for you. My tank would have been empty.
And I think 99 out of 100 other wrestlers would have been too. Right out of gas. But look at Bret Hart. He certainly is a magnificent machine in there.
I used to try to end my matches as quick as possible. Last thing I want to do is run out of steam. Really going to work on the left arm and shoulder now.
I ran out of steam many times and paid the penalty.
Boy, it's awesome. I don't care how good you are, how big a fan you are, when the tank is empty here as a person.
Yes.
Hey, one by the hitman sends Mr. P down to the canvas.
And there's no doubt about it. Both these men have the courage to get up and wrestle if they're not pinned. So unless somebody pins you, you're going to stay in there for a lot more punishment.
Oh, here he goes again. With that nice counter. Beautiful counter move for the crucifix by Mr. Perfect.
What a perfect lure that was there by Mr. Perfect. He set Bret Hart up for that one. And damaged him tremendously with that drop back and
Right
full
into
body
the
cover.
short rib area. Oh, and once again, in the same spot. Right in the diaphragm.
Mr. Perfect picking those shots and conserving as much energy as he can.
He's really favoring that left arm. Did some serious damage to it.
Yes, he is. He's shaking and trying to get the blood flowing through it evenly. I think both these men are going to feel this bout for a long time to come.
You don't get over one like this overnight.
No, certainly they have taken a tremendous toll of each other, but they are youngsters. They have that asset of youth, and they can recover. They do have that resiliency.
Irish whip in. One for an abdominal stretch, and the hitman turning around. Well, he didn't have the right hook. He didn't have the arm hook, probably. He just was lucky enough to get out of the abdominal stretch that Mr. Perfect had tried.
Yes, and I think Mr. Perfect lost that battle for the abdominal stretch there because his left arm is still injured and he couldn't get it to function properly.
Come on, Bret. John, you've got a handful of hair there.
Mesh is high edge.
Setting him up again. No, reversal by the hitman. Right over the top goes Mr. Perfect. Look out.
finish him off where everybody can see him. And now here's a golden opportunity for Bret Hart to finish him off and spoil that perfect record.
Suplex coming up. Well executed.
Nice one.
Didn't like the cover.
But so close, Gorilla. Almost had him there and ruined that impeccable record. And Mr. Perfect again, a good chance to cover him.
Hitman, the second rope, front up along the inside, bombs way. Another nonchalant cover. No, foot in the ropes or under the bottom rope. Another bell ring. Thought I heard the bell.
I believe so.
Here it comes.
Just read Bret's lips. He's like, fuck.
Because the last 2 or 3 minutes there was definitely all Bret Hart, and he was definitely in danger of losing that perfect record.
You couldn't beat me 25 more minutes into the hell you have.
I like in the Boston when he calls him a loser.
Bret Hart made a mistake. Humiliation now. Smacking him around the face. Look at that. What a humiliating thing to do. Very irate and angry. Mr. Perfect there. Dangerous. He is indeed.
He's going up top line.
And this is his first high-risk move. And he comes after the match is finished. When he's done his place.
Oh, I hate that move. When they kick Curt and he goes like all the way around. Well, anyway, I'm just going to turn that down. So this apparently was done at the Maple Leaf Gardens. That would be in Canada. So yeah, that's one of the matches between Bret and Curt. So I'm going to put everything away and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. All right, guys, we're back. So, yeah, there's the match between, Curt and Bret, and if we watch the Boston Garden one, it would kind of be the same, just in Boston. So, same kind of match, unfortunately, just in Boston. So, I really want to thank everyone. Last time I checked, my subscriber, we were just about to hit 20K. On YouTube. I can't tell you guys how overwhelming this is for me. It's so wonderful to hear that there's, at least 20,000 people out there that want to hear me talk about one of the greatest wrestlers to ever live. So thank you so much. We have hit our first goal of 20K. I'm just so So happy. And, you know, by the time this episode comes out, we'll probably have like 40K or, close to 50K. So, you know, you guys have been wonderful and have been awesome. All that I ask is if you, can support me, the link will be in the description. You may have to copy it into a browser, website thing, or a browser. But my Patreon, page will be in the description field. Please, 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 if you can, please support me. We're coming up on, you know, well, I mean, technically, Curt's birthday bash was already, you know, it's already gone by the time that this episode is going to, air. But, if you could just say some, you know, nice words about Curt, anytime you can leave a comment under my podcast, you know, say a nice word about Curt, 'cause I know he can hear it, you know, he can hear our thoughts, I'm sure. But, also, I just want to let everyone know that Pro Wrestling Talk is on Saturdays. If for any reason that we can't do it, we will let everyone know. Usually on X, we'll let you know that we can't do a show this week. I know I'm still recovering from being sick, so, you know, sometimes when we do get sick, unfortunately, we have to kind of say, no, can't do it. But, you know, just check us out. If you like what we're talking about, subscribe, like, comment to Angel and my channel. You know, if you, can, please support me on Patreon. Like I said, the link will be in the description field. So if you can do like $1 a month, that's great. Thank you so much. You know, the support is really needed because, unfortunately, we've come on hard times. I wish I had that Dusty promo. I'd do that Dusty promo for you, but, so if you could just, you know, do what you can, like, subscribe, comment, share my channel so that we can keep growing and we can get to 40K or 50K or whatever we can do. You know, I'm just so happy and overwhelmed that people actually like to hear what I talk about. And if you want to see what I look like, you can definitely check me out on Pro Wrestling Talk. I also have another show called Black Magic Talk. That's usually recorded on Mondays and usually uploaded about Tuesday, morning or afternoon whenever I can, I had to edit some of it because I had to edit out some things. So, that may take me a little while, but it will be up as soon as I can get it up. We do have, and they'll probably already be done by the time that this airs, but we will have some really special guests, that are coming on. So stay tuned for that. I know that my co-host has some famous authors that he knows that are also pagan and Wiccans. So they like to talk about their experiences and we'll ask them questions and, you know, kind of get their perspective. But, catch us on Black Magic Talk. We are currently, as of this recording, up to episode 2. We're going to record episode 3 with our special guest Sonia Smith on, April Fool's Day. So you can kind of tell that I'm doing this in March. So, but when this airs, it'll be like mid-April. So, you know, like I said, if you can donate to us, all the links will be in the description field for not only this podcast, but also for my Black Magic Talk. If you have any questions, concerns, you can email me, you know, if it's about the show or, if you'd like to become a Patreon supporter for $3 a month, you get to ask me all kinds of questions. And I'm going to extend that to, you get to ask me a question also for Black Magic Talk. So, or like Pro Wrestling Talk. So if you can do $3 a month, I will let you, not only ask a question on my podcast here, Curt Hennig was the best change my mind, but I also will let you ask a question for, Black Magic Talk and also Pro Wrestling Talk. So if there's a burning question you've been wanting to ask us, for like Pro Wrestling Talk, or if you're a Wiccan Pagan and you want to hear, you want to ask a question to us or me or Matt about our Wiccan path, it's just $3 a month. If you can spare that, great. You will get to ask me all kinds of questions on any show you want. And seem to have like a little sneezing spell. Anyway, but that'll be all cut out. So, but like I said, I'm going to extend that to all channels. So if you want to ask me a question, by all means, please ask me a question for any of the shows you want. So, like I said, if you can spare the $3, you're more than welcome to ask me a question, along all 3 channels if you want to. And if you want to ask me a question about the show, or, you're not sure exactly, if I said something, you're not exactly sure what I meant, I will clarify it for you. If you can spare $5, you get a blooper reel, which I've been really wanting to give to people, but I think that's more, say for Patreon and stuff. And also, if I do get a $5 subscriber, on Patreon, I was going to do, me all dolled up like I usually am. And then I was going to literally have a camera in front of me and actually let you watch me do, this show. So instead of hearing only the audio, which is usually what you usually get, unless you watch Pro Wrestling Talk or Black Magic Talk, you don't know what I look like and you don't know how I do this show. But I would be more than happy to doll myself up and do it behind the scenes once I get some $5 subscribers. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And if you can spare the $10 a month, that is wonderful. Thank you so much. You get all of that, plus you get like a live Patreon show. So I will do a live show just for Patreons. And I will tell you more about me, I will share some things about me and my life and, why Curt and, all the things I don't get to share on my podcast because, it may be, like we might have to do it on Rumble because there's things I can't say on YouTube. So, that's why I do some editing. But I want to thank everybody for listening. You've been so wonderful. Thank you for subscribing and staying subscribed. If you, for any reason, are not getting notifications about new episodes, please check YouTube, see if they unsubscribed you. If they did, just go back to my page, Curt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind, or my handle is Mr. Perfect is Perfect, 0328. Just resubscribe. Sometimes YouTube will do that. They will unsubscribe people for no reason. Just make sure that you're still subscribed if you still want to hear, what I have to say and stuff. And there's all kinds of great things coming up for me. Like I said, I have 3 shows I'm doing, so all this exciting stuff is new to me. And, I do work a full-time job, but, it's getting a little hard to keep up with all the shows plus everything else. So, like I said, if you can give, just go ahead and copy, my Patreon page. If it is not clickable, you will have to copy it, into a web browser, and you just go there and you pick your tier. And, if you want to do $1, $3, $5, or $10, you just pick whatever tier you want. You put in your credit card information and you will hit submit, and you will become a Patreon supporter, and I will say your name plus give you all your perks depending on what tier you pick. So if you can do that, please do that today. If you can't, that's okay. Just make sure you're still subscribed to YouTube because like I said, they do unsubscribe people. So thank you for subscribing and staying subscribed. But also if you do have Rumble, I am on Rumble as well. So if you could, all you'd have to do is look up Curt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind, and you actually will follow the channel. And right now we have 23 subscribers. I'm looking to get 100, and then, we'll go to 200 and 300. I'd like to get Rumble pretty high, or as high as, YouTube. Unfortunately, right now there's no way that Rumble is promoting anything like YouTube is. So unfortunately YouTube is a little bit better because I can promote my episodes and through YouTube, though I think everybody misses out because my theme songs are on Rumble because I don't want to get popped for copyright strikes. But the one I have coming up for the birthday bash, if you go on Rumble, there's actually a really special theme song that I did. I had pictures of Curt off of X. It's when he passed. And I got a few pictures that people had shared on X, and I actually saved them and used them in my theme song. And the theme song is My Perfect Friend that Randy Savage did, his little rap for Curt. It's really something to see. If you can, you do have Rumble. Again, you're just going to do a search for Curt Hennig Was the Best, Changed My Mind, and you follow, and then the birthday bash should be there. So if you want to check that out, it's the one with the theme song is the special happy birthday song that I sing to Curt. Check that out. Check out that theme song that I was able to put at the beginning of it. And then if you want to stick around for the, it's only 16 seconds after the theme song, of course. And I just sing happy birthday to Curt because when I'm recording this, it's actually March 27th. So his birthday is less than an hour from now. So it was March 28th, 2024, and he would have been 66. So happy birthday to Curt. And this, like I said, will come out in mid-April, so it'll be almost near my birthday. My birthday's April 20th. So, but wherever you are, Curt, happy birthday. So I want to just let you know that, give what you can give, and if you can't, all you can do is sub to either Rumble or YouTube. That's fine. If you could also help Kit Cabello, he's on his way to 50K. If we get 50K, we get him in a kilt. So if you know what I'm talking about, and you can give to Kit Cabello, just sub to his Hardlands Media. Again, we're on the way to 50K for him. He's done a lot of good work, and he is someone I call friend, because he said that about me. So I call him friend, and we are friends. And what a great person, a great friend to have. He likes to stick up for people, and he likes to help, people. We were a little fledgling channel, and now we're almost at 20K. So, I thank him for this. He had a lot to do with my channel. He came on my channel. He was the first one to debate me. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have met Angel, and I wouldn't be on all these channels. So I owe Kit Cabello a lot. And, I love him as a friend. He's been such a great friend to me. Has really stepped up my game to keep up with all these, shows that I'm doing. Plus I'm working a full-time job. Plus I'm a mom, and, all that goes with it. So, I really thank Kit Cabello. And again, if you would like to follow him, it's Hardlands Media on Rumble, Kit, Rockfin, everything you can think of, YouTube. So let's help him get to 50K, and his fans get to see him in a kilt, once we get a pants check on him. But thank you so much for listening, and I hope everyone has a great week. And remember, everyone, nobody beats Mr. Perfect. Nobody.